Our first guest is the Honorable Pringle, Opposition Leader in the House of Representatives, Parliamentary Representative for All Saints East and St. Luke, and the leader of the United Progressive Party. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Dave. Good afternoon to all the listeners of Observer.
You look fresh. You look fresh.
Good afternoon to, you just have to always be smiling, Dave. And that alone in itself is refreshing.
How are you, sir?
I'm well, thanks. I just want to take this opportunity to say a pleasant afternoon to the people out there in All Saints East and St. Luke, and just to thank them for having the confidence in me as their representative, especially during the challenging times that we're facing. We still continue to struggle out there as it relates to the road condition, the cleanliness of the community. And I just want to reassure them that, as usual, I will continue to do what I'm able to do under the circumstances. And, we'll just continue to work together to move that constituency forward.
Where are you operating from now as the leader of the opposition?
I'm still operating out of All Saints. There's some movement on the office of the leader of the opposition. The government acquired the building, the Charles Worth Samuel House, up there on Independence Avenue. That's going to be the new location for the leader of the opposition office. And I know they're doing some work right now to get it refurbished so that it can be utilized in the shortest of time.
I like the name of the building.
Oh, certainly.
I like the name of the building. But of course, sir, we don't have much time today. I want us to, first of all, welcome you and address the resignation matters, including those in today's news. Things are happening. And of course, if someone resigns, you know about it. But just give us, the general public, as you're sitting at the leader of the opposition, as we reflect in these resignations, including those today. Are you aware of today?
I only know of one today.
One?
Brother Arif Jonas.
Okay, well, when I say those of today, I hear other names are mentioning, but is what you know, what you officially can
I can
speak
only
about?
confirm Brother Arif Jonas. And Brother Arif and I would have had a discussion at length this morning in regards to, what's the reasoning behind of his resignation. And I'm comfortable knowing that it's more of a personal matter rather than any problems with the party. And I would have assured my brother that, whatever support that I can offer during this challenging time for him, I'm not going to get into details, but, it's sad that, persons are faced with many challenges. And, as an organization that is about people and putting people first, I would have given him the assurance that if there's any time he's in need of any assistance, that we can help him, don't be afraid to call. I just want to thank him for his service, and I, wish him every success in his endeavors, and I hope that he is able to overcome the challenges that he's faced with.
The others that would have resigned before him, any comments on those?
For me, Dave, the organization over the years has experienced this type of situation. And, while I listen to persons in the public, Pringle needs to go or Giselle needs to go, let us understand and let us look at the history of the organization. And with the Honorable Baldwin Spencer at the helm of this organization, he would have lost Chet Green, who was a member of the UPP. Melford Nicholas, they were members of the UPP. So when you look at under the former political leader.
Jonas was a member of the UPP also.
Yes. when you look at the former political leader, we would have seen a number of resignations under his leadership.
You're speaking about attorney at law,
Harold Lovell. So again, this is nothing new to the organization. But what was instructive about all the resignation? What stand out to me is the fact that we were able to rebound after all these challenges. So it shows that the organization is a resilient organization, and while we cannot control who leaves the organization, I'm proud to report here, since January, we have ratified at least 160 new members to the United Progressive Party. But these aren't things that persons talk about. The organization is at a place in this, at this point, where things are happening. Persons leaves, persons come. We are looking to announce, Dave, a slate of candidates.
Are you reading my mind? Go right ahead.
And in this first instance, I will say a minimum of 10 persons. And when the public get the opportunity to look at and to hear who these people are, I guarantee you they will have a different outlook of the organization, because persons are coming with credibility. Persons are coming to join based on the fact that they see the United Progressive Party as the alternative in changing the direction of Antigua and Barbuda. After all those resignations that I spoke about in the past, UPP still moved from where it was to govern this country, and to date, it has done more for the Antigua and Barbuda people than any government in its history. And we can look at so many things. If we look at the programs that were implemented by the United Progressive Party, persons got upset, they leave. Persons are facing what they're facing, they would leave. However, the organization is a solid organization that I know will withstand the shocks that it's facing at this point. And I want to assure the members that I will not do anything that will jeopardize the future of this organization. Persons are probably still, some are still stuck with the results of the convention. Now, let us be frank. It was a democratic process. And in the convention, I only had one vote.
So you did not vote for yourself?
So I voted for myself.
Well, I mean, it's one, but one would not get you to the leadership of the party.
And it's a situation in which convention is in 2 years.
Yeah.
Every 2 years, according to the constitution of the party, we must have a convention. Except that there's an election pending.
Yeah.
But again, we can move on. I've moved on from the convention. I'm looking at growing the UPP. There's so many things that persons can expect coming from the UPP. And I just want to encourage persons to block out the month of October.
Block out the month of October.
Because that's UPP month.
That's when things are going to be happening.
Okay.
No, go ahead. I don't
so
want to change your trend of talk.
While I understand persons are concerned, and rightfully so, because persons are resigning, but it's just because you're not hearing those persons who are coming. Negativity is what sells. But it's not unique to Pringle leadership that persons resign. Persons resign for various reasons. And we need to focus on the task ahead. Antigua and Barbuda is in a state with crime. That's a situation for all of us to deal with. Let us focus on the issues rather than trying to destroy the United Progressive Party. Because whether Pringle leads the United Progressive Party or someone else does, we still have the same issues to confront. So let us all as Antiguans and Barbudans work together, because it is evident that the Gaston Brown administration is the greatest threat to Antigua and Barbuda, whether it's Pringle at the helm of UPP or somebody else is at the helm of the UPP. And we just have to be frank about these things. So I am not at all worried about the future of the UPP, because I know and I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to put UPP in the best position to win the election. That is what it's about. It's not about Pringle. You know, persons tend to beat up on Pringle because Pringle just don't respond. Because the task Pringle is looking at is not to go after people who speak negatively about him, but to listen to the critique, and to do the necessary things to please that person that I'm going to ask to vote for me the next time around. So if you don't support me now because of X, Y, Z, how can I get you to support me if you keep it inside and you don't speak of it? So when you speak on something and you see changes within Pringle and the organization, it's going to attract more people.
we got to take a commercial break. The Honorable Jamal Pringle, of course, the opposition leader here in Antigua and Barbuda, representing the United Progressive Party. Sir, a lady, and I want to use this, a young lady, because her voice sounds so young until she told me her age. And she has one concern, sir. She wants to know about the primaries. I promised her I'd pose the question to you, and I know she's listening. The primaries for the United Progressive Party.
Certainly, Dave. We have received a number of letters from persons interested in running for the party. But understanding how divisive primaries are, I have embarked on reasoning with individuals, looking at a lot of situations as to how we're going to go about the whole aspect of selecting a candidate. Because again, we understand how critical it is for that individual to start to work in the constituency immediately. So there are discussions going on at this point with the persons who are interested in representing the organization at a constituency level. And what I'm happy to report is that we are seeing a level of maturity where one individual, can say, listen, we understand, we don't have time for some of the things, the back and forth, and I may very well, I think that, I can withdraw my support, my candidacy, and allow this person in the interest of party and country.
But what's the party rule says?
Basically, where there's more than one interest in a constituency, you go to primary. The selection process can also depend on polls, as well as the political leader.
You have veto power, don't you?
Has a veto. But we understand that, we look at all the possibilities before looking at utilizing the veto. And I'm happy that where we are now, that a lot of these constituencies will be settled without the political leader utilizing his veto.
Well, that's good news.
That's good news.
Yeah.
So again, what you're hearing out there, you're hearing persons are leaving. Look like the other day I got something. Sean resigning, and poor Sean didn't even know that she's resigning from the party.
Mm-hmm. You're speaking about the secretary.
The general secretary.
General secretary of the party. But, you know, they all have some of the scam things that's going on, and if, you know, you have to put it down. For some unknown reason, I see things are popping up.
Well,
and names are being shouted out there.
Well, what I realize is that the propaganda is real at this point, which is signaling to me that there's an election pending. And we have to understand, if the other side can destabilize the United Progressive Party, it's a win for them. So they will do any and everything to destabilize the United Progressive Party so that they can be victorious. Because the only how they can win the next election is if there's no UPP.
The success of last week's general membership meeting and its outcome. You referred to tell the public?
Last week we had a general membership meeting where I engaged the general membership and seek to reaffirm my commitment to the United Progressive Party and ensuring that the United Progressive Party is in a position to win the next general election. And what was instructive about that meeting is that the general membership reaffirmed their support for me as political leader and support. This is critical, Dave.
Yeah.
Not only for me as political leader, but for the United Progressive Party. So again, while others try to tear down the institution, the foundation and the structure within is a solid structure. And I'm honored to be leading such a wonderful and strong organization. I will not fail the people of this country. I know others may believe that it is necessary for, you know, this person or that person to go forward. But at this time, the people of the party, they have elected me. The people of All Saints East and St. Luke, they repose their confidence in me. You saw it in the last election where we moved from 10 votes in that constituency to 752 votes. And at the next election, I guarantee you, it's going to be over 1,000 votes.
So you had garnered 700 plus extra votes? The
Yes.
last time was you won by 10.
10.
And you've garnered 700 plus.
Okay. So again, it shows the confidence. The situation is of such that I am doing whatever it takes. You know, after every convention, there's some fallout. Look back at Baldwin Spencer, Ivor Heath. Look back at Baldwin Spencer, Harold Lovell. Look back at Harold Lovell, Lewis. Look, and now Pringle Lewis. It happens. But the organization is so strong that it's still standing, that we could have celebrated 31 years as a party fighting for the ordinary and for the citizens of Antigua and Barbuda. That is critical. When you look at our people first philosophy, everybody looking at the negative that is happening. For some of it, it's a personal choice. It has nothing to do with the leadership. And I'm not saying that we as leaders, we don't have to do introspection. We have to. Because you always try to be better than you are yesterday. So every step of the way, you have to do self-introspection. You have to see what you can do better today than you did yesterday.
And you're on that journey?
And that is what it's about.
You're on that journey.
That is the journey that I'm on. I want to see how I can make the lives of Antiguans and Barbuda better than it was under the Antigua-Barbuda Labour Party. And presently, if you would agree, Dave, persons are struggling and we are not seeing any form of relief from a government that is boasting of how much it's collecting. What happened to the people? Why aren't we passing on any of that to the people in savings? These are the things that we have to focus on. Cost of living is still going up.
The people leave in the UPP is not bringing down the cost of living.
That is not bringing down the cost of living. And again, there are persons on there that I haven't seen a resignation letter for them.
People would have said
that you would have seen published. It's published
that they left.
That they have left the organization.
You have not received.
I haven't received any resignation letter. And we also too, Dave, we also have to look at what is happening. Because when you look at the defection, the media can report it before the organization receives it. So you realize what is happening? There is a malicious intent in trying to destabilize the United Progressive Party. And it will not happen. Because the members are standing firm and they understand what is happening. This is politics.
Yeah.
You would have heard the allegations made by the Prime Minister about Brother Lewis right after the defection of Anthony Smith. It's because of that defection with Brother Anthony Smith. They announced that because they wanted persons to start to look at our brother in a different light. But we are an organization and we are keeping our organization together. We might have differences, but we have the United Progressive Party in common. Brother Lewis and I, we don't have any issues. We're about moving the UPP forward. And we're going to do whatever it takes to move the UPP forward. Because again, it's not about us. Whether I am not at the helm of the UPP, the challenges for the people are still the same. I am not about me. I am about the people who are out there suffering. When we look at the bills that we took to Parliament, it's about punishing our youth.
While we're there, of course, the passage of the anti-crime bill, that was part of my stuff in Parliament, and the replacement of Mr. Watts as the Speaker. So since you went to the bill, you can continue, because I have it slated to speak to you.
When you look at what we went to Parliament to do, Dave, I think we're lacking a fundamental part of the whole process. Because you're not getting any solid commitment about rehabilitation of our young people.
So no way in the discussion did they speak about, apart from the fact announcing that they're going to build, of course, an area to house juveniles and to house children instead of have them at the prison. Is there anything that is happening before
let us
that?
be
'Cause
real,
it takes
Dave.
building a long time for a building to be built.
Let us be real.
Mm-hmm.
If they're serious, because they're housing juveniles at Her Majesty's prison presently, and in my view, that is what the bill went to Parliament to do, to make it legal. But at the same time, what are you doing about ensuring there's a facility, a temporary facility? Because you can't get up today
And have one ready.
and have a building up in the air.
Is there
Because these buildings that are built for a particular purpose, it takes time and planning.
Now that we have a prisoner at the famous the Navy base, that's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Is there any legal drawback for them to house the youths in that facility until the building, the preferred, of course, building is finished?
It's a declaration. All it takes is a declaration, like what they did with
the building for
the
house
building
the
there to
gentleman up
house
there.
the gentleman.
That's the
there.
Governor General who made that declaration.
Yes.
But there's enough space pertaining to the amount of young people in the prison. There's enough space up there. Is it because of security, manpower? They don't have it to of course, guard 2 prisons?
You know,
They don't have enough manpower
the fact is,
for this one, so maybe they don't have enough manpower to utilize the area where the one gentleman is at?
I know according to what I learned about that whole situation, is that part of the MOU is that the army must guard that facility where they're housing the gentleman. That is part of it. And there's a guard there 24 hours with that prisoner.
But what if it is for them to take the children out of the...
What is necessary is for them to find a temporary location to change the unlawful situation that exists today. We cannot continue to speak about how we want the best for our young people and the best, but the only thing that we're doing is put them in jail where there's no form of rehabilitation.
The MOU that they made with the British government, did that MOU said that he was the only person that should be housed in that?
That was part of the requirement for the extradition.
He was, yeah.
So I don't believe it would speak to anybody else.
Because he was convicted after.
But based on that arrangement, I would believe it would be geared towards him alone.
In that entire property up there?
I'm just saying.
Okay. It sounds unbelievable to me.
You know, but Dave, when we look at the legislations increasing the penalty, I guess it's a deterrent. They're trying to use it as a deterrent. However, there are some fundamental things that we must do if we're serious. There's nothing in place to help rehabilitate the juveniles who are delinquent.
So nothing in this bill that went to Parliament have that in it?
No, some of them they amended and put in some aspect of it after it was raised. But again, we have to look at preventative measures. We cannot continue to treat the young people of this country in the manner in which we're treating them. What happened to ensuring there's a proper facility so you're not mixed with a hardened criminal and we're able to, within a structured institution with programs, we help to rehabilitate you so that you do not get the opportunity to fall back into the same behavior without proper counseling, proper guidance. This is the situation that we're not coming to grips with. I learned today that the recommendation for Comfort Hall was to break it down and to build a new facility that can do all that you want with in terms of housing for juveniles, a correctional area, because up there's 40 acres of land. You have space to do whatever.
So what would have happened to the proposed site up at the where the army is located?
But again, sometimes you hear things.
They had to break down something that you're waiting for them to open.
No, but let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Two different purposes?
You see, and there's so many things. What's the purpose of Crabs? The Defense Force facility at Crabs.
What's the I don't know.
Okay. From my understanding, it is strategically located because some of what is stored there, it's safer to store it up there than anywhere else. In the event of any accident, you don't have much casualty.
Okay.
We don't need to get into what's there and all of that, but just that alone in itself.
So they're going to reverse from what they were planning to do because of that? And break down Comfort Hall?
I will say to you that I don't know how much work they did up there, but I will say to you that that is not the best place for it for various reasons.
Where is not the best
and
place
safety reasons. Up at Crabs.
Up at Crabs. So I pose this question to you again. What the juvenile center that they were going to build, wasn't to house junior offenders?
Yes.
Because a lot of folks who were at, and we let's say at Scarrett, they weren't convicted of anything. There were people who needed someplace, they didn't have any place to go, they didn't want to become vagrant in the street. So it's two different things, isn't it?
It was doing two different things.
Yeah. But it wasn't housing prisoners.
No, but again, those persons who were in confrontation with the law as a juvenile,
they were housed up there?
That's where they send you.
Oh, okay.
So what happened, and I spoke about this in Parliament, because when I was in the system, students used to come from the boys' training school through Glanvilles. So what happened? You don't have parents. You go to Skerrit. You get in confrontation with the law. You go to Skerrit. So what happened now? There's a fusion of criminals and persons who are looking at a home coming together. So those persons now, they too started doing crime.
But that's not a good thing. They should be separated.
Again, that is what is necessary.
But you're saying there's probably 40 acres?
40 acres of land.
So there's enough room for them to build different,
to do what
different
it is that they want
facilities
to
up
do.
there.
But the reality is, we need to be serious about it.
But you can't break down one until you build up something.
No, I'm saying based on what I heard, the structure up there, some of it needs to go.
After they would have done the renovations?
Well, I don't know what they did up there.
But monies were spent.
I know they got 120,000 US to refurbish it. I don't know to what extent. Perhaps the minister in charge give us an account for what
That's
was
the
done.
Minister of Security?
I believe it to be social transformation.
Okay, that's Samolo Joseph.
Yes.
Hmm.
You know, so again, Dave, we have to look at these situations and understand that something must be done. But what I wish to say here today, Dave, is that we all have a role to play in saving the young people of this country. And I would have started a series of meetings with stakeholders to look at means and ways that we can collaborate as the opposition, as a member of society, as a business person, to see how I can be a part of the change that I wish to see. I met with the Chief of Defense Staff, and I would have given him my full commitment that we need to look at the Cadet Corps program and even to move towards decentralizing it so that it's happening in various zones. And also to have public education on the program, because we only look at the Cadet Corps as a disciplinary measure in terms of curbing and instilling discipline. But there's so much opportunities that can derive from the Cadet Corps that I believe if we market the Cadet Corps and give some support to the Antigua Barbuda Defense Force, that program can be a life changer for many persons.
We got to take a commercial break. Thank you for staying with us. And of course, again, we want to say thanks to the Honorable Jamal Pringle for being with us today. I know he have to attend a funeral, so we're going to try to get through the last 14 minutes so he can get to the funeral before they are looking for him as the leader of the opposition. And of course, he needs to support his constituents and folks who support him. But I just want to pose this question to you. The fact that I see the replacement of the former speaker, Mr. Watt. Is it just like that you see? How does it work?
No, the same how the speaker
was elected.
That's the same process.
So it's not just somebody's going to come and replace him?
No, it's not just. No, you have to go through the same process of the election of speaker.
So would the UPP have a candidate for?
Certainly.
Okay.
It's being discussed at this point, and I am not going to allow the situation to pass without trying to get a person nominated by the opposition to be elected as Speaker of the House.
Now, the Constitution said we must have a deputy speaker. What's the story with that?
Well, I would have raised that in Parliament the other day. And the answer that I got was there's a deputy.
There's a deputy?
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a deputy, but where's the deputy? Is he functioning?
It was also said that the deputy don't have to always be in Parliament.
No?
No.
Okay.
But there's a deputy.
And
the deputy is on I guess, leave.
The deputy's on leave?
Yeah.
So if you're the speaker, you as the leader, and you decide to go on a long leave like that, what happened?
If you're the speaker?
No, as the leader of the opposition, and you have been in Parliament for a while, what happens? Isn't there time that says
once you give reasons.
Once you give reason
why you are not attending the sitting, you are excused.
Okay.
But if you just don't show up for 3 sittings,
Without
then,
an
then
excuse.
Without an excuse, then they can move towards removing you as a member.
Well, I voted in a constituency. I voted for Mr. Smith. What's the story with that, sir?
I know something has been filed in the court in regards to the whether or not Mr. Smith is an independent member. The legal team for the United Progressive Party, persons would have reached out to us within the constituency wanting to challenge that. And
person like yours truly, go ahead.
And the legal team, commissioned by the party, decided it's something that they can take on. And I know they did the preparation, and that is before the court. I think
so. The papers have been filed.
Yes, the first sitting is the 8th of October.
Okay.
So
that's really going to be
while persons tend to look at, there's so many things that are happening because again, since I took over the leadership of this organization, and I must commend those who came before me, because they would have built an institution, they would have, reposed the confidence in me that I can manage the organization. Hence the reason I believe Harold would have departed when he did after the last election, knowing very well that the organization would be in capable hands. It's just a matter for us to work together in the interest of the people. Continue to put forward the people first mandate. And that is what we're doing. We are about people. We understand that persons are aggrieved by the fact they voted for an individual. And, having a legal team to the party disposal, we engage it on behalf of some constituents living in that constituency who came to us. And they're advancing that challenge. And what we have to understand with that case, that is the first time something like that has ever been done. So this case is a precedent-setting case. You understand? So we're not just sitting back idly. We're doing whatever we can to assist in whatever way and carrying the fight and the challenge to the government.
We're speaking about taking challenge to the government. I want to go back because today is the 18th day of September. The party's intention to begin announcing candidates in early October, along with other plans. Could you emphasize on that again?
What I can say, Dave, October is going to be a busy month for the United Progressive Party. We will be announcing at minimum 10 candidates who will be representing the United Progressive Party in the upcoming election. And I know that the public will have confidence in these individuals handling the affairs of state and will be prepared to give us the opportunity to continue our people first mandate that was started in 2004 under the Honorable Baldwin Spencer. We believe wholeheartedly in our mantra, and we will endeavor to deliver no less than what Antigua and Barbuda saw under the leadership of the Honorable Baldwin Spencer. And to prove that the United Progressive Party is such a strong institution, remember, it's the same Prime Minister who degraded all the persons that we have put forward, but yet still, every time he wants a candidate, it's the UPP he look within. So Dave, I'm confident that what we're doing in the United Progressive Party in recruiting persons to represent Antigua and Barbuda, we're doing a good job. But we cannot, Dave, at no point see the heart of an individual. Mm-hmm. We can only encourage individuals to be honest and to stand with integrity, because that in itself is what makes a good human being, a good citizen, standing for what is right, even when you're standing alone. And that is what I intend to do. I intend to represent the interests of Antiguans and Barbudans, and more so, those persons who would have born into a situation where they're not as privileged as others, to give them an opportunity to function and survive in Antigua and Barbuda. That is something that I must touch at a later date, because I'm seeing something emerging since I became leader of this organization. And I want to encourage parents. Do not ever discourage your child or children from pushing in every aspect that they want to achieve. It doesn't matter who is against you. Once you have the commitment, the drive, and the integrity to do what is right and to push yourself forward, no naysayer out there can stop you from achieving. Otherwise, I would not, Dave, sit here in front of you as even the member of parliament for All Saints East and St. Luke, much less the leader of the opposition and leader of the United Progressive Party. You do not have to born within a privileged family, but you can work your way up and become an individual of influence. And while naysayers are out there, Dave, when I walk through the schools and communities where I have young people like me and younger, and they know the struggle, I am happy that I am a motivator for them, that you can rise from the bottom to the top without selling your soul. So I just want to encourage young people. It doesn't matter, because I wasn't a saint when I was growing up. But the path that you chose, make it a positive path. And just shake off the negativity. And you will rise and rise to heights that you yourself will never ever believe you can reach. So I just want to encourage the young people of this country. No matter how challenging it is at this point, just know the Lord don't give you more than you can bear. And there's light at the end of the tunnel. And you have support, because I will ensure that I don't only speak about it, but I'm going to be about it by implementing programs to help our young people, so that the punishment is the last resort, but rehabilitation and prevention is first and foremost. So Dave, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you.
Yeah, but while you thanking me, I want to do this on the air, because there's the chairperson of the party, D. Jizzle Isaac. Well, you're the leader, she's the chair, and there's a general secretary.
Yes.
that's the top 3 brass in the United Progressive Party?
Though we are the elected persons, but the leadership is made up of all those persons.
No, more on trial.
Well, I can speak to the general secretary
because
I
want the
will
three
arrange,
of you.
I will arrange
Uh-huh.
for the chair, along with the general secretary and myself, to come on your program.
I want that very much so.
I will let it happen.
Okay, thanks kindly. I know you have to go off to a funeral. Give, of course, the folks our condolences from News Observer Radio. And I want you to wish you the best of everything. The best news that I'm hearing, the month of October. How many candidates are in Parliament now for the United Progressive Party?
5.
5? So you're looking for 10?
I'm announcing the minimum.
10?
10.
You can't go to the maximum if you have 5. Thanks a lot for being with us today, Mr. Pringle. Stay safe out there. Give our condolences to the folks at the funeral.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome.